Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the Off-Farm Income Podcast YouTube channel. Thank you very much for being here with us for episode number 753. Well, today we are going to talk about the topic of a $1,000 SAE grant. Now, there may be several of you out there who have students in the FFA, or maybe you're in the FFA yourself and you're not aware of the free money that is available to assist you in paying for or even starting your supervised agricultural experiences. These are always granted, or at least the winners are selected in late November, early December of every year. And it's a really great opportunity to get a student started off in a project, even a business that can grow into a lifelong career. And I've seen it happen already. It's very cool. And we're going to be speaking with Chloe Lacrosse today, who's coming to us from Southern Door High School in Wisconsin, who just received a $1,000 SAE grant to help grow her dairy herd. And she's going to be talking to us about her experience with that. We'll get that started for you right now. Joining me today is Chloe Lacrosse, and she is coming to us from Southern Door High School in Brussels, Wisconsin, and she is the recent recipient of a $1,000 SAE grant. Chloe, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, you bet. I read a very nice article about you and you receiving that SAE grant, so I wanted to say congratulations.
Thank you.
You bet. Well, hey, let's do this. I'd love to start out the interview by just asking you a few questions just about you. Is that all right?
Yep.
Okay. Well, how old are you?
I am 16 years old.
All right. Now, when you are not at school, when you're at home, are you on a farm? Are you in town or something kind of in between those two?
I'm on a farm.
Okay. And is this your family's farm?
Yes.
And what do they do there? Is it a row crop farm? Is it livestock? Is it dairy?
It is a dairy farm.
Okay. Very good. So a Wisconsin dairy farm.
Yes.
And how long has that been in your family?
I would be the 6th generation.
No kidding. 6 generations. So does that go back into the 1800s then?
It could have.
It could
Not
have.
quite sure.
Not quite sure. Okay, very good. Now, how long have you been part of the FFA?
Since I was in 8th grade, so 3 years. It's my 3rd year.
Okay. And what brought you in? Why did you want to join the organization?
I wanted to have new opportunities to expand my horizon.
Okay. So how did you figure that the FFA was the place to do that?
It took a lot of convincing. I had a lot of people come up to me and be like, oh, you should try this.
Yeah. Was it your peers coming up to you and saying that, or was it teachers or family members? Who was trying to convince you?
My peers and the teacher.
Okay. So now you've been doing it for 3 years. What do you think? Were they right?
Yeah, I enjoy it a lot.
Well, good. Now, you said you wanted to expand your horizons. So what is one of the ways that you've grown since you've been in the FFA?
Speaking in front of people.
Oh, good. Okay. And so do you do creed speaking or something like that? Or tell me about your experience in speaking has been so far.
Dairy judging involves giving oral reasons.
Yes.
So you're talking one-on-one with the person.
Uh-huh.
Equine judging involves oral reasons, so again, going one-on-one. And speaking in front of the chapter in general has given me a lot of confidence.
Very good. So you're already out there judging equine and dairy shows, is that right?
Yes.
Very cool. Good for you, Chloe. That is exciting. Very good. Well, so you've been doing FFA for 3 years, starting in middle school, which is a great opportunity to get started that early. And it sounds like it's going well. Let's give a shout out to your FFA advisor who kind of encouraged you to join the group. Who is that?
Ann Glowacki.
Great. Thank you for acknowledging her. And Chloe, I want to take a quick second to acknowledge a couple of my sponsors. I want to start off everybody talking about Powder River livestock handling equipment. Anytime you need to handle large livestock, you need the right equipment. And Powder River has been making it for over 80 years, starting out here in the West with some of the wildest cattle you could ever come across. They have made outstanding equipment that can handle those type of cattle, and they can definitely handle yours as well. Check them out over at powderriver.com. And then Chloe's namesake, Lacrosse Footwear. They have been making quality boots since 1897. They're very, very involved with the FFA through the Give a Gift of Blue program. They sponsor multiple scholarships every single year, and they're just very, very involved in agriculture, as well as the FFA sponsoring those 15 scholarships and 100 jackets every single year, and we just love having them as a sponsor. Hope you'll check them out over at lacrossefootwear.com as well. And Chloe, you happen to wear these boots.
I do.
Now, we were joking before we started the interview, but your last name is Lacrosse. Now, this was not by design. This just is the way it worked out.
Yep.
And you're from Wisconsin, which lacrosse originated in Wisconsin, so it would be crazy for you to have any other boots on your feet, wouldn't it?
It would be.
Well, great. Well, I'm really excited to talk to you about your SAE project. I know that's going to relate to your SAE grant, and I want to talk about that as well. What have you been doing for your supervised agricultural experience?
I have a dairy project, which I started when I was in 8th grade. I have an equine project, and I also have a beef project.
Oh, wow. You're really going for it. 3 separate projects.
Yeah.
Okay, so which was your first? Did you start with all 3 at once, or did you start with one of those 3?
I started with all 3.
Okay, tell me about that. Why did you start with all 3?
My family, we have beef at home.
Okay.
That we raise and sell and butcher.
Mm-hmm.
Also for the fair. My horse, I also have at my house.
Okay.
That I'm also learning a lot from. And I live on a dairy farm, so it's all been a part of my life.
Got it. So what does your day-to-day work in your supervised agricultural experience look like? Are you like building a herd of dairy cattle or of beef cattle or something like that? Or what? Describe the project to us.
I'm hoping to eventually build my herd of registered Holsteins, to eventually build a farm of my own. I would like to have beef cattle on the side as like a hobby, and I would love to train horses and educate myself more in that industry.
Very cool. So it sounds to me like you like livestock.
I love it.
Well, that's great. So you're building your own herd of registered Holsteins. Do you eventually want to have your own dairy farm, or do you want to raise registered stock to supply dairy farmers with?
I plan to have my own herd, my own farm of registered Holsteins.
Very cool. Okay. And so will you be milking those or selling them to other people to milk?
I would be milking them myself.
Okay. Very good. And then beef on the side as well.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's a great way to kind of hedge your bets, right? If one market's not doing good, maybe the other one is.
That's the plan.
Well, good for you. That is a great plan. That's kind of an advanced plan for a sophomore in high school. So you've been doing some thinking about this, Chloe.
Yes.
Good for you. Good for you. Well, now tell me about the SAE grant. So again, congratulations on receiving one of the $1,000 grants. What inspired you to apply for this?
Our ag teacher brought up the idea to me, and I want to expand my herd, so I thought maybe I could apply for it and see what happens. So once I received it, I was very excited to know that I can expand my knowledge.
Very good. So that $1,000, do you obviously I've read the applications before and judged them, so I know you've already earmarked where that money is going. What do you plan on spending it on?
I plan to spend it on a show heifer or a genomic heifer.
Okay, very cool. Now that's a term that is, I think I know what you're talking about, but not one I've heard before. When you say genomic heifer, tell me what you mean.
Has a good background, like high in milk, high in GTPI, genetic performance intake, and all the other cool stuff.
Okay, so you're either going to buy one that'll do well in the show ring or one that's going to do well in the milking parlor.
Correct.
Okay, very good. Well, tell me about the application for the SAE grant. What was the most difficult part of that for you?
Figuring out my goals.
Interesting. Okay. Well, it is kind of difficult to project forward and know what you want to be doing, in a year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever it may be, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what did you write down that your goal was?
To buy a heifer that would be over 3.0 in type,
Okay.
so show related, and to hopefully breed her by myself to have her be a good quality heifer dad to my herd.
Very good. Well, that is great, and I'm proud of you for getting that grant already. It's great that you applied for it. Why not, right? It's free money sitting out there, and it can help you with your goals.
Yes.
All right. Well, here you are. You've got just a few months left of your sophomore year of high school, and then you'll be moving into your junior, then your senior year. What are your goals in the FFA going forward?
My goal is to keep expanding my knowledge and keep applying for more awards, and to hopefully be an officer.
Very good. So will you be applying for or running for an officer position this spring?
I'm undecided, but I might.
Okay. Very good. Well, Chloe, I want to ask your advice. I'm always thrilled to speak with somebody who has received one of the $1,000 SAE grants. I think that's an important thing for students to know they can apply for. What would be your advice for another student who they may have heard about this, but they're not sure whether or not they would get selected? Should they apply anyway?
Yes, they should apply. Having a mentor is huge. It helped me out a lot. Having that second person giving you the confidence and the being there to reread everything is helpful.
Mm-hmm.
I guess having the patience, there's going to be a lot of ups and downs, is important to get through.
Very good. Well, thank you so much for giving that advice to other students that are going to be coming up behind you. And thank you so much for joining us today, Chloe. Really proud of you and really happy to speak with you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for joining us, everybody. Thank you for being here to be part of Chloe's story. Really appreciate you being in the audience. And as always, enjoy your journey to the ultimate lifestyle business, agriculture.